This begins the story of my great-grandparents, Micheal Schipp and Elizabeth Schipp, and their life in Prussian Poland. This map shows Poland as it exists today, but Poland did not exist in the 19th century. Poland had been taken over and divided among her more powerful neighbors, Prussia, Austria, and Russia. This shows the areas of foreign occupation after the Third Partition of Poland in 1795. The red arrow points to Posen. This was the German name for the Polish province of Poznan. The Schipp family lived in Poznan province. Here you see the blue silhouette of modern-day Poland overlaid on the partitions. Micheal was born September 13, 1850, in a village of Grabów nad Prozna. That translates as the town of Grabów on the Prozna River. The name Grabów first appears in the year 1264 as the location of 3 estates. It officially became a city August 20th, 1416. Here it is, as seen in Google Earth. The town and municipality of Grabów nad Prozna includes 16 villages. According to the information in church records, the Schipp family lived in Grabów Puszczkowie, which translates to Grabów Wilderness. It's all farmland now, but perhaps back then it was more sparsely populated. This village is just a little over a mile west of the center of Grabów. This would have been the mansion on a noble's estate. And here's a church in today's Grabów. It would have been built probably 200 or 300 years ago. Elizabeth Schipp was born October 13th, 1855, in the village of Brzewo, a small farming community. Here's today's Brzewo, as viewed through Google Earth. On April 15, 1872, Micheal and Elizabeth were married in the church at Brzewo. This is the page of the church record book that shows their marriage. In this enlargement, you'll notice that Michael's surname is spelled S-I-P, while we've always known it to be spelled S-C-H-I-P-P. While church authorities continued using Polish spelling, the Prussian authorities changed everything to German when they could. In Polish, the name spelled S-I-P would have been pronounced like Schipp, and the German spelling would have been S-C-H-I-P-P. If you want to read my discussion of the name issue, write down the web address shown here. This is not a link that you can click on. According to church records, the Schipp family were landed farmers. That is, they owned their farm. It's likely that multiple generations lived on adjacent land. In those days, it was usual for the family patriarch to divide his land among his sons. So Micheal and Elizabeth settled at Grabów Puszczkowie and began their family. Their first 6 children were born in Grabów. My grandmother, Stella Schipp, was the second of their children. She told of being a goose girl. Her job on the farm was to tend the geese. Everyone on the farm had chores. By the 1870s, things were becoming increasingly difficult for Poles in Prussia. Kaiser Wilhelm I was king of Prussia. Otto von Bismarck was the chancellor. He was effectively the ruler of Prussia and Germany, and known as the Iron Chancellor. He was imposing rigid Germanification regulations to eradicate all vestiges of Polish language and culture. In 1884, Micheal traveled to Hamburg, Germany, boarded the steamship Westphalia, and set off to the United States to find a place where he and his family could make a new life. I wonder what were the discussions leading up to the decision to leave their homeland and their families. It must have been difficult. Records show that Micheal stated his destination as Chicago, but I don't know whether he spent much time there. He ended up settling in St. Paul, Minnesota. 3 years later, in 1887, Elizabeth and their children made the voyage across the Atlantic. The family was reunited in St. Paul, Minnesota.